Hey, the internet, y'all got us all the way up. We met that dude, Duke the Jeweler, the night before. We was gambling. The next day, dude followed us to the concert. When we left out the concert, we under the garage. Dude went to his car by himself and walked down to the parking lot. That's when somebody tried to make him.
He's the one that's tied to the dude that makes the loaded dice. Right? Check the play out. All entertainers, when you go to Houston, stay away from Jay Prince Jr. A whole play going on. Here go the play right here. The play is a loaded dice.
A jeweler named Duke recently got killed. And the story's really messed up. So I want you to talk about what happened.
Blood-stained dice rolled across the velvet table. The room appeared cheerful, but only one man would leave alive. Duke the Jeweler didn't die penniless, he died in a room full of predators. Mob T.I.'s now has blood on his hands, and the federal authorities are aware. This wasn't a robbery. It was a targeted execution carried out not by masked strangers in an alley, but by people Duke knew immediately after leaving Boosie's dice game, surrounded by the same individuals who greeted him warmly one moment and seemed to exchange subtle signals the next. Those faces came under federal scrutiny. Meanwhile, 50 Cent amplified the situation, reposting rumors, sharing evidence, and hinting at a far more complex setup than previously imagined. Here's the disturbing connection. Just 2 weeks before Takeoff's similarly suspicious dice game death, Duke had dominated a JPR-JRB game. In that environment, the wrong man winning could be the wrong man surviving too long. Now, the entire Mob T.I. circle, including Boosie, J Prince JRB, and Lil Cam, is under observation. What began as whispers has escalated into active federal warrants. From an outsider's perspective, Duke appeared untouchable. A Chicago native who built his empire from scratch, he wasn't just selling flashy chains to emerging rappers, he designed high-end pieces for major clients. His Houston visit was business, not leisure. Boosie reportedly invited him to discuss a custom design, prompting Duke to bring $1 million Louis Vuitton duffel full of his finest work. What he didn't know, that meeting would also serve as his last. According to leaked audio from WAC 100, this was no ordinary dice game. Allegedly, J Prince JRB operates a loaded dice operation. The same three men, Lil Cam, Big Capri, and Wolf, consistently rotate the dice at the table in what insiders describe as a ritual. The house usually wins unless someone disrupts the cycle. And when that happens, it's game over. Literally.
Man.
Someone clearly made a critical mistake. According to WAC 100, Duke managed to bypass the supposedly loaded dice rotation and started winning substantial amounts, first hundreds, then thousands, and eventually tens of thousands. In a rigged game, this isn't just luck, it's a serious threat. Sources suggest JPR-JRB receives 30% of every Dice Night's earnings. So when Duke began dominating the table, the atmosphere changed from smiles to tension. Duke wasn't subtle either. He was dressed entirely in designer gear, casually throwing stacks of cash while recording his streak for Instagram. In the footage, a subtle moment stands out. Boosie emits a quiet whistle, prompting his nephew to lock eyes with Duke. A man in a red hoodie taps the nephew's arm, seemingly signaling him. The energy in the room shifted instantly. Duke went from laughing to tense, as if something was counting down. Minutes later, Duke was killed. The situation strongly suggests premeditation. Why would Boosie invite someone wearing over $1 million in jewelry to a dice game without security? Why wasn't there protection for an out-of-town jeweler carrying that much value? When Duke left, he was alone in a dark Houston parking lot, surrounded by cash and jewelry. Gunshots followed, but nothing was stolen. Every chain, ring, and dollar remained. If theft wasn't the motive, then what was? The most revealing detail, a Louis Vuitton duffel containing Duke's unreleased custom designs was recovered at Boosie's house. Houston PD confirmed this. Whether Duke handed it over or it ended up there another way remains unclear, but the bag returned to Boosie while Duke did not. Boosie's explanation, a shaky Instagram, lived from a plane claiming he barely knew Duke, and that Duke simply walked off doesn't fully address the circumstances. When only the bag survives, not the person, it's difficult to attribute the event to chance.
Hard time, but never gave up. I stayed tough, even when I got my chain stuck. Go through hard time, but we know that what made us. Can't blame us, we love the script, cause that what paid us. Yeah, accolades, I know them niggas laid up. I call King like independent, going where I'm up. I can't even find me, I'm in the night, trying to stay up.
Didn't you say Duke was going to make you a custom chain? You barely knew him, yet you invited him to a private dice game and allowed him to walk to his car alone while displaying over $1 million in jewelry. Something doesn't add up.
Some dude tried to rob him. Some dude tried to rob him. See, some dudes had tried to rob me and walked off by itself, bro. I had just met dude yesterday. They try to rob dude, man. Dude must ain't get up.
Folks from Flight Zach, we're number 2 for departure, flight attendants, please clear the cabin.
Just met dude.
Let's be honest, Boosie didn't appear innocent. His face was pale, his demeanor tense, and if that seemed concerning, the next details were worse. Federal agents, already monitoring Boosie for other legal issues, pulled Duke's case and launched a dedicated federal investigation. There were no delays or backlogs, just a direct focus on Duke's death. Step 1, trace the phone. Duke's last cell ping came from Boosie's recording studio. Unless the phone moved there on its own, someone in Boosie's circle placed it there. And they didn't attempt to hide it. No wipe, no smashing, no disposal in a river. The phone simply went dark after the ping, indicating it was turned off manually. That detail caught federal agents' immediate attention. Next came the rental car search. Forensics recovered fingerprints belonging to Boosie's nephew and cousin, both on record. Then a witness outside the building reported seeing Duke walk alone toward his car, calm and unhurried. But from the shadows, Boosie's nephew appeared as if waiting. The witness says Duke attempted to defend himself, swinging first, but it didn't matter. Allegedly, the nephew drew a gun and fired. The most chilling part, there was no robbery. Nothing was taken, not jewelry, not cash, not the $1 million duffel. This wasn't about theft. It was about silencing. And instead of discarding the bag, it was kept. That's not negligence, it's arrogance. 50 Cent also highlighted a widely acknowledged industry truth. In Houston, there's an unspoken rule: check in with J Prince JRB and the Mob TI circle. No official documents, no contracts, but everyone from rappers to influencers to athletes knows it. The problem arises when the very people you check in with are the ones orchestrating the setup. J Prince JRB hosted the dice game where Duke was killed, as well as the one involving Takeoff. Suddenly, this check-in culture doesn't seem protective, it feels like a trap. And when two high-profile individuals die under the same host's watch, even Whack 100 felt compelled to speak out.
Entertainer invites him in, act like he's covering for him, hanging out, everything is cool. Let's go here, let's go there, let's go here, let's go there. He introduces the dice game. He got 3 right, who rotate the dice. Now these dice is loaded. Tell me it's a Wolf, Big Caprice, and watch this, and Little Cam are the loaded dice rotators, right? He said, why? There was a situation that occurred that a certain jeweler round and got past the dice on accident and was hitting on them for a couple hundred. They got irritated about that. I ain't gonna go too far into that story because, right, boom, The only way they could get their money back was however money back. He said, but Lil Cam, Wolf, and Big Caprice are the three designated to say I'm up, I got the next, and they pass the dice to each other, but they loaded, but they shoot.
He described it as a scam ring. According to him, J Prince JRB invites entertainers, pretends to be friendly, gains their trust, and then brings them into a dice game where his associates surround them.
I gotta do my research, see what Judah might have been down there shooting dice. But nevertheless, to all the entertainers, you know, Dukes of Hazzard was one of my favorite shows, right? I don't know if y'all watched it. I was thinking about Daisy Dukes for a reason. I don't know why I said that. You know, one might go with it, may not go with it, but I don't know. The math is math and let it math. But entertainers, beware. Oh, with J. Prince Jr., when he talked about let's go shoot some dice. Because the loaded dice crew of three, Lil Cam, Wolf, and Big Caprice. We know Lil Cam in there because I believe somehow, some way, he was caught up in the dice situation. Rest in peace, Takeoff. I don't know what's going on. But what I do know is this. J. Prince Jr. got a whole thing that when y'all come into town, hold on, bro. Didn't they say Fifth Ward earlier that day shooting dice?
Yep, that's a fact. That word been out, Wack. That word been out. We been got that memo.
And then, so they've been getting hit all day, and it got to the point that the thing, they were like, getting into dice. That's what this nigga J. Prince Jr., boy, these niggas got all kind of shit going on down there. They say, he said the jeweler nigga got past the dice. He didn't even know the motherfuckers was loaded. He just think he hit. These niggas is mad as a motherfucker. Cause they like, nigga, how you pass this nigga the loaded dice? Oh no.